Today's tip is brought to you by Carbon Express, when accuracy counts. Hello and welcome to Twig and Timber Archery and Outdoors. My name is Colton Nash, and today we're going to go over the phases of the rut with you and what are some of the best tactics that have been proven to use during those times. The first phase of the rut, which we call the rut, is going to be the pre-rut phase. Now normally deer stay in their normal pre-rut routines and movement strategies that we see throughout the entire rest of the year. But there's a slight difference. Hormones are changing. Some of the new younger bucks are starting to come out a little earlier. Old does are starting to become in estrus a little earlier. So you're going to see some changes in a little bit of deer activity, but for the most part, they're going to stay in their normal patterns. The three best tactics for communication during this phase are going to be decoys, grunting, and rattling. Grunting is perhaps the best communication method during this time of the rut. Rattling and grunting, you're going to start to see some subordinate bucks, some younger bucks. Coupling rattling with a decoy will get you a good shot on some less than 100% mature bucks. A little side note for you, during this time of the rut you might start to see some signs of pre-rut. For example, you might see some scrapes and some rubs. That's a good indicator that you're going to see some male activity in the area. The next phase of the rut, what we call seeking and chasing, or chasing and seeking, depending on how you would like to phrase it. Best strategy for this time of the year is to look for those pre-rut signs such as scrapes and rubs. Again, grunting, decoys, and rattling are going to play an important role in your communication with bucks, but I would only grunt heavily in a low pressure area. High pressured bucks are going to take this as a threat sometimes and move out of the area. During this time as well, decoys are going to become even more important because the testosterone levels in these animals are rising and they're going to be seeking out hot does even harder. After seeking and chasing, we have our peak breeding time. Bucks are going to be moving all the time during this phase, so one of the things you might want to think about doing is making your day an entire day's worth of hunt. Don't just go in your peak movement times during the rest of the year like they would be. Go in early, stay all day, and leave late. During peak breeding, aggressive calling, aggressive rattling, and decoys all play a major role. This is also the time you're going to want to start to use your estrus, okay? We can buy aftermarket estrus all over the place at our local retailers, but this is probably the best time to use our estrus attractants. After peak breeding, we have our post-rut and secondary rut opportunities. Check for really thick cover and large quantities of food, quality food. That's where the animals are going to be. Doe bleats and estrus scents are going to be working very, very well during this time. The post-rut is a lot like the peak breeding time. It's where the stragglers kind of try and catch their second wind, if you will, and reproduce a little harder. But for the most part, you're going to be reverting back to your old ways of finding your cover, finding your food, and hunting that way. Hope this has been informative, guys. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, head over to Facebook. We've got a wonderful group full of great hunters. We've got a nice page full of great information. Hope to see you guys there. Make sure you guys stay safe out there and have a great season.